Here we are in St George's Gardens, which is on the sort of western side of St George's Hall, which is famous for its Minton tiled floor, which because of its value and rarity is only uncovered on certain special occasions. And it also happens to be one of King Charles's very favourite buildings in the UK, probably for that same reason. The flooring is really spectacular. But I've come down here today to talk to you about the most recent OM Systems release, the OM-3. And by the time you see this video, it will have been reviewed to the nth degree, and everybody will have given you their opinions on it. And I don't want to get into that sort of side of things. What I wanted to talk to you about today was the dilemma that I found myself in when they released this camera. First of all, styling-wise, it reminded me instantly of the original OM-1 from 1972, the film camera, which I was around for the release of. I owned it. In fact, I still own one. And that was an instant attraction for me. The look of it, brilliant. It's the first camera that I've seen that actually tempts me to exchange my Pen F for. And for those of you that follow the channel, you'll know how highly I rate the Olympus Pen F. Now the OM-3 is as near as you are ever going to get, I think, to a replacement for the Pen F. In terms of build quality and everything, going by what people say about it, it seems to tick all the boxes. It has the same sensor in it as the OM-1 Mark II, the 20 megapixel stacked BSI sensor. It has all the features of the OM-1 but in a smaller, more compact body. And as I say, extremely tempting. So I've come out this morning specifically to get a new camera. So I hope you are going to join me. And by the end of the video, you'll know everything. Simple as that. I'll see you a bit later. Well, I've been and gone and done it. Don't know whether I've done the right thing or not. But to put everybody out of your misery, I'll show you my new camera. Sorry to wind everybody up. I'll talk about this in a moment or two, but just let me put you fully in the picture over my deliberations about the OM-3. At the moment, at launch in the UK, it's just under £1,700 body only, which I guess is about $2,000, something like that. And the only way that I could afford it would have been to get rid of my EM1 Mark II with the 12-40 Pro zoom lens. I would have had to get rid of the Pen F, which, to be fair, the OM-3 would have been a replacement for anyway. But the Pen F would have had to go, body only. And also, for me to be not left completely bankrupt, I would have had to sell the Sony A7 Mark II. Now, for those of you that follow the channel and know me and know the ethos behind the channel, it's all about getting out there with whatever equipment you own. It's not about reviewing the latest gear. Don't get me wrong. If OM Systems suddenly sent me one in the post, I would love nothing more than to review it. And in due course, I may well end up buying one when I win the lottery. Yeah, right. It would have been too much of a sacrifice for me to get rid of 3 cameras in exchange for one body. And let's be honest, the OM-3, in my opinion, is well suited to either the 12 to 40, I think it is, Pro zoom lens, the smaller one, rather than the, sorry, not the 12 to 40, the 12 to 45, I think it is, the smaller version to my 12 to 40 2.8 Pro. It's a more compact body, so it would have been more suitable for that smaller lens. But even then, I feel that for me personally, it would have been a better camera to use with primes. More compact, very reminiscent of the original OM-1 film camera, but with all the bells and whistles that you would anticipate with a brand new, up-to-date digital camera. Thank you very much, Mr. Herringull. The sacrifice would have been too great. And let's be perfectly honest with you, I've enjoyed shooting my vintage lenses with the Sony for this past 12 months, and I would have had to give all that up. It just didn't make any financial sense, or really any sense for the channel, to be perfectly honest with you. It's a fantastic camera, I have no doubt about that. Will I get one in the future? I very much hope so. But I need to have the funds available for me to go out and buy it, rather than get rid of a ton of gear just so that I can use the very latest kit. That's not what the channel's about, and hopefully you will understand my thinking behind it. Probably regret it in a few weeks' time, but hey-ho. So to take the edge off it, I've been out and bought an Exacta X2B, this little baby here. And the reason why I've gone for this one, don't get me wrong, this is far from a perfect camera. It's 1965 vintage. The shutter, the second blind, is very, very sluggish indeed. In fact, it won't close half the time. And the lens, which is the f2 Pancolar lens, that will only close down to f4 or thereabouts, because the iris blades are covered in oil. Now, I'm going to have a go at repairing the lens, not the body, but I will give you a rundown of the Exacta brand in the next few weeks, because Exacta, often overlooked, and but it is one of the most important camera manufacturers out there. And of course, for those people who like Alfred Hitchcock and Rear Window, it's where it's remembered from, really. Shots taken from his rear window with the long lens, that's the same type of camera. In 2025, I mean, this is now a 60-year-old camera. This was launched in 1965. In 2025, it's absolutely awful to use, in my opinion. It's basically left-handed. Now, you might think that's a good thing, because I am naturally left-handed. I'll go into all the details, but it's a really awkward back-to-front camera with a lethal accessory inside it, which I'll talk about when I give you my feelings on the camera. But I just wanted to give you a rundown of why I've not decided to go for the OM-3. Yes, it's a wonderful camera. It would have been too costly for me to exchange my present equipment for it, and financially I just couldn't afford to go out and buy one. I could, but it would leave me penniless. So we're sticking with what I have now, and I'm hoping that you are going to stick with the channel. Enjoy your photography. I'll keep you updated on the Exacta, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now.